Good evening and welcome to the Love Center where we love God, we lift people, and we lead communities. I am Felicia Smith, and joining me tonight is Dr. Joseph Howard. Tonight we're going to share information with you on racial trauma and mental health. So let's just jump right into it. How are you this evening, Dr. Howard?
I am doing good, Dr. Smith, and it is such a delight to be with you on today and to see you again.
It is certainly my pleasure as well.
How are you today?
I am hanging in there. You know what? I'm doing okay. I could be doing better. I think we get so used to just saying we're well, we're doing fine, but in reality, I'm doing okay given everything that's taken place in our nation. I'm doing okay.
How the children?
The children, they are good. Both of my daughters, they're good. My grandson, he's doing well. So, all in all, they're doing okay.
With the racial trauma and the COVID-19, along with a possible recession, as a mother, how are you coping with this time?
So for me, this time has been a time to pivot, a moment to pivot, to think about the future. With my girls, we talk all the time. My oldest daughter is actually recovering from COVID-19, so that has been, an adjustment for our family. But God, He is, truly amazing. So we spend quite a bit of time together. We're saving. Because we're spending more time together. We're saving more money. We're getting time that we would normally have to spend together. We're having that opportunity. So everything happens for a reason, and we're grateful to God that He's allowed us to see another day. Yes. And how about you and your children?
Well, the children are fine. They're spread out, and this is a time that I really hope and wish that they could be with me because I've always known that the streets are not safe. But it seems like a lot of things are being done now to minorities and people of color intentionally. And so it's just a desire to protect. And so because I'm not able to be there, what I do is just do a lot of praying for them.
Okay, good. Thank you. So let's move into my next question for you. How do you deal with the notion that we are constantly rendering ourselves as non threatening to whites? How do you deal with the notion that we are always rendering ourselves as being non threatening to whites?
Well, that's a good question. And the word that comes to mind is transcendence. And we know that love is greater than hate, goodness is greater than evil, and God is always on the side of the oppressed. And oftentimes, even in times like these where we see um, racism being recorded, we still know that God is on our side and that He is fighting for us. So in this time of peaceful protesting, it's good to know that we stand. And if we stand, then He fights. So it's just that kind of transcendence that I think was taught throughout and demonstrated throughout generations by people of color, because we were always persons who were in positions where we had to learn to be non-threatening because we didn't have the weaponry to retaliate, but we had the gift of love to transcend all of the evil, knowing that God, in the final day, is going to be the righteous judge who rights those things that were wrong in our lives.
Absolutely. God is still on the throne, and none
Yes,
of this has caught him by surprise.
that's true.
So he's still on the throne. Thank you so much. The stress of being black is killing us, is a statement that I heard just a couple of days ago. The stress of being black is killing us. How would you respond to that statement?
Well, I would respond that that's true because the greatest stressor is financial stress. And anytime we're stressed, it will affect any organs of our body and cause us to have different illnesses. And so we've never been treated fairly along the social, political, and social economic lines. We were promised 40 acres and a mule, never got the 40 acres. Always last hired, first fired. Just things, even as it relates to stimulus monies for minority businesses, never got that. So we've never been able to get our fair shake. And stress is real, and I'm talking about literally dying from stress. That's very possible, and I can see that as being a reality. So some of our recovery has to be becoming more financially strong.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you said that. When I think about that statement, I think that, we're always fighting. We're fighting for affordable health care. We're fighting for, to create a pathway out of poverty. We're fighting for equal opportunity. So we're always fighting. Being black requires work, and it requires tenacity. So I'm really glad that you shared that. So let's talk about some strategies. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the trauma because I really want to get to the strategies. So what are some of the strategies that you are employing to maintain your well-being during this time?
So there are a number, and I'd just like to name it that the first strategy is healthy eating. And so what I do intentionally is reduce my intake and then make healthy food choices. Secondly, I will exercise, and I try to get daily exercise in home, not in the gym, but in home, and just do something that's comfortable, something to make me sweat. And in the beginning of the day, I'll get up and do morning meditations, the Word of God, pray, get on my face before God, and just seek His directions for me for that day. And then oftentimes I watch television, watch some movies, try to keep up with what's going on in the world to try to get as much information as I possibly can so I can make good decisions about next steps to the best of my ability. Because I do feel that with some of the information relating to COVID-19, we haven't gotten all of the information, correct information. So without good information, we cannot make good decisions. And so those are some of the things that I do. What are you doing in this time?
So during this time, like you, I'm exercising. I can't say I'm watching too much of what I eat, but I do. I try to. I'm reading in prayer, do meditation. I do community prayer every Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. and at 8 p.m. for 30 minutes. And that's been really, really powerful. And I've seen just an awesome move of God during that time. I get out and I get in the yard, I plant stuff, I do things that I normally wouldn't do if it had not been for COVID. Getting out working in the yard, me, absolutely not. But I've been forced to do that, and I actually enjoy it, find that it's very therapeutic. Spending time with my family, my grandson, it's been, again, very therapeutic. Zumba, reading, just trying to maintain, keeping my joy and trying to sustain that. Yes. So you mentioned meditation. Do you have a meditation that you would like to share with us tonight?
I do. And so this is a type of therapy, and it's kind of trying to get into the mindset of Rashard Brooks the night that he was murdered. And so oftentimes if we can get and look through his lens, sometimes it helps to open others up to possibly see what he saw and to feel what he felt and to be able to express how we feel, because sometimes we'll bury that.
Yes.
And then when situations occur like he encountered, then we don't know how to respond because we haven't tapped into what we're really feeling.
Absolutely.
So I just kind of wrote this little piece called Taps. And so what I would like for you to do if you don't mind, just close your eyes, and persons who are watching, if you would just, if you want to participate, particularly if you're not driving, if you would just close your eyes and just kind of listen. And as you listen, just listen with your minds, and wherever your mind take you visually, just feel free to go there. Taps, tap, tap, tap on his window, attempt to awaken him from a dream. It had been a nightmare that was a horrific, that was horrifically extreme. A face he saw, beaten, battered, and broken, gave him a chill. The unrecognized face said, "My name is Emmett Till." Emmett said, "I was beaten unmercifully that frightful Sunday night. I was just a child who did not know how to put up a fight. Mama told me, son, you gotta live right." Again, I tried to wake out of my dream, but Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd, along with others, all came on the scene. The voices of the slaughtered made this nightmare horrifically extreme. George Floyd and the slaughtered shouted, "What happened to me was not right." We had no chance to put up a fight. Floyd continued to speak. "I was murdered in broad daylight with handcuffs on, a knee to my neck and a knee to my back. You heard me say I could not breathe, calling for my mother, but yet his knee stayed on my neck 8 minutes, 46 seconds by those who we trust to protect because of hatred and disrespect. I tried to wake out of my dream, but Muhammad Ali came on the scene. He said, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Tonight you will help change the course of history. I tried to wake from my dream, but I saw Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, you must run tonight for me to help make all men free. But remember, I got shot and killed the day after I told the world without a doubt I had seen the promised land from the mountaintop. I waked. I thought I was still in my dream that turned into a nightmare that was horrifically extreme. You saw what happened to me. I was only trying to make all men free. After I died, you saw officers stand on my shoulder. I hope you seeing his rage make all men bolder. I ran like Kunta Kinte, just wanting to be free. I could not take it any longer, folk wronging me. So I struggled and ran to hope make this world better. Now you keep on protesting until the world sing Black Lives Matter. Now it's you who fallen asleep in the witness drive-through line with getting up back to eat, going home and celebrating your child's birthday on your mind. Tap, 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 tap. Now wake up.
That was absolutely amazing. I was actually in a trance. I mean, it was very, very riveting, very powerful. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Can I ask you one other question?
Yes, sir.
And thank you for sharing and responding and participating with that. So how do you feel now as a mother, a grandmother, about the new normal that we are calling paranoid or paranoia about our children being outside of the home, whether it's day or night, in the streets of America?
You know, as a mother, I'm often concerned about that. Having a black grandson in particular. Um, Interestingly, he's only 2 years old, but 3 days ago, he said to his mother that he was afraid of the police. And he said, the police is coming to get me. I don't like the police. And I went by and I put my hands on his head and I stood there for a moment and I prayed. At 2 years old, a child shouldn't have to have that type of fear. Um, So I'm constantly in prayer with my children and for my children. But I do know that the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, for sharing.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Love Center, for tuning in again tonight. We hope that you have a blessed week, and we hope that you tune in next week. If you're interested in giving through Cash App, you can give through $NMBCLC. Again, $NMBCLC. Thank you so much, and God bless.